evening. We've gathered here tonight to celebrate the military history of one of our members, Mr. Bill Reynolds. We spell celebration with R-O-A-S-T. Bill, this is going to be an exciting night for you. I know that you had an interesting career in the military service. You spent some time in Vietnam, rather heroically as I've read it, and I understand you came back and became one of the veterans' heroes. I do want to tell you, though, that tonight will actually be a little more than what you experienced when you came back from Vietnam and met the anti-war protesters. Well, that was nothing compared to what the celebration is going to be like tonight. So buckle up, buddy. You're going to have a good time.
Bill was raised in a perfectly normal family. Nothing really unusual about our family, just perfectly normal. 60s kind of family. Nobody weird in the family or nothing like that, especially not Bill.
Growing up, we lived in a little house that only had one bathroom for the 5 of us. Well, Bill was the big bathroom hog. He was always in there primping for the girls.
Without lying, I could say he's a stand-up guy. That would be touch and go a little bit.
I have been a fan of Bill's for years, going back to the 70s. Yes, I remember the big star that he was. Well, and he still is. There were the movies. Well, one of them, Deliverance. Ick, need I say more? Then we go to Smokey and the Bandit, Sally Field, Smokey and the Bandit 2. He received a lot of fame and notoriety through the years. He received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He received a Golden Globe Award. Yep, he was. Well, he is quite a big deal.
I had a boyfriend that was in the Navy, and when he came home on leave, he was so proud to be in the Navy that he wore his dress whites when he came to pick me up for a date. Well, Bill answered the door and yelled out, "Joanne, the milkman's here."
He loves to talk, and I don't like to talk, so we run together, and you give Bill the microphone, and you may find out later on this evening, you give Bill the microphone, you better stand by. You're going to be there for a while.
Romantically, first there was Bill and Sally Field. They were great together, such a cute couple. Then Dinah Shore came along. Bill and Dinah Shore. What a cute couple, handsome couple they made. And there was a lot of press about them too. People were very impressed with this dynamic duo. Dinah had a cooking show at the time, which you can see Bill took quite an interest in. One might say he spent quite a bit of time with Dinah in the kitchen. Later, in fact, they both made the cover of People magazine back in the day.
Just because you think you're a great veteran doesn't mean you get a free beer at the lodge.
Way back in grammar school, anytime we'd lie, we'd just cross our fingers like that, and it would make the guilt go away. So anyway, that was a little sidelight. I'm not going to lie about Bill. I just don't really have a lot to say about him. I like the guy.
When our little girl was about 5 months old, I had to go to a doctor appointment. So I left her home alone with Bill. According to him, I wasn't gone long when it became apparent this little darling of ours needed a diaper change. So he made an attempt to change the diaper. And mind you, this is his one and only time ever to make that attempt. And got the diaper off. But he started gagging and nearly threw up, so he couldn't complete the task. By the time I got home, he had all the windows and doors open, and he was trying to get sympathy from me for what he had to go through, and how dare I leave him home alone with a little baby that poops. This man survived combat in Vietnam, but was nearly taken out by a dirty diaper.
He likes to call himself a war baby. Well, that's true, because our parents took one look at him and started fighting. But actually, he was born during the Great Depression. Not our nation's, but our mother's.
The phone would ring, and he would answer the phone, and he had talked for quite some length of time on the phone with the person on the other end. And I'd see him on the phone, and then suddenly he'd say, "Oh yeah, do you want to speak to Bob?" He was actually our voices sound the same, so he was talking to my girlfriend for at least 15 minutes before he gave me the phone.
Okay, so Bill, do you remember when you and I and Jim and Dan and Max were in Da Nang, Vietnam, with President Trump? And President Trump offered us the opportunity to speak to the nation and on Veterans Day and thank the veterans for everything they did. And you know, Bill, the first thing you did when you looked over at Donald Trump was you told him, "My wife just loves you." And you know, Bill, that's really sweet, but I think nowadays we're being a little bit, masculinity's being challenged a little bit. And I'm not sure we didn't take a step back on that one, my friend.
He, when he was in high school, he decided, gee, I know how to swim, I'll join the swim team. So he was on the swim team, and he got in so much trouble being on that swim team. The coach made him an example of what not to do, and he was one of the worst swimmers on the swim team.
How did he manage that?
I guess maybe they were desperate for swimmers.
Me and some of his friends, Bobby to be specific, saw him naked. And that's when we came up with the terminology of the stand-up guy.
Well, he had it made for better or for worse. And later he turned to writing with articles in a variety of media covering many topics, including veterans and their concerns. He was quite successful as a writer, and just recently, this is hot, nobody even knows about this yet, the Santa Clarita Gazette and Ted Olson approached Bill to write a book. Oh, and write a book he did. Now this was kind of unexpected. One wouldn't have expected him to do this. Well, maybe Meg did, but she wasn't telling. The book was entitled Pornography for Women. I know, the title just grabs you, doesn't it? And I must say, it has an instant appeal to me. I must get a copy of that when it's off the presses. Yes, we have right here a truly multi-talented guy, and boy, do we appreciate having him in Santa Clarita. What an impact. However, I think he really came to everyone's attention. It kicked everything off when he posed nude for Cosmopolitan magazine. Oh yes, many ladies remember that. You know, and I'll remember, it was impossible to buy a copy of that issue. You couldn't find it, it was gone. Sold out in minutes. In fact, today, it's available again. Of course, the copy will be a little bit, worn, shall we say. And on eBay, you can find a copy, and a copy sells for $47 or $9, you know, whatever. And so we have this whole spectrum of activities and career moves done by Bill. The only question left before us now is, okay, Bill, what's your next career move? What will come next? And by the way, Bill, thank you for being our roastee. It's greatly appreciated.
Okay, my first impression of Bill was, hey, here's a brother, here's a combat veteran, here's a man I can trust, and here's a man that has done well for himself. And he loves to speak, he loves to support, and just a good family man.
Bill was like any other veterans that I've met. His personality was very distinctive and very exact. You know what he stands for and what he means when he talks to you. And that's what I like most about Bill and other veterans like Bill. And if anyone that reads the Signal, they'll see his many articles every week that he's had on a different veteran here in Santa Clarita. And he's done an outstanding job. Matter of fact, even one time, I think he did it on me, and it was very good of reminiscing about the good old days and what it was that we did and serving our country. And I enjoyed working with Bill, and he does an outstanding job.
Bill has a great sense of humor, and he adds much to our family. He has quirky personality traits at times, and we have bickered from time to time over the years, but he will always have my back, and I will always have his. Bill, thank you for being my big brother.
And I guess the best advice I got for Bill Reynolds is just keep doing what you're doing, brother. You're doing a fine job.
Keep doing what you're doing and enjoying it.
I think Bill needs some advice about chilling out and enjoying retirement rather than working harder now in retirement than he did when he was working.
You know, as your son, I love you very much, and it's been really great to see you over the years, especially since you've retired, you know, taking on all the things that you take on, especially relative to veterans, and all that you've done for the family and try to do for the family. Really always appreciate you and love you to death, Dad.
Bill, you've done a good job. Keep it up and take care of Mom. And be careful when you're driving that hot rod car that Dodge that you're driving.
I would just like to personally thank Bill for his service and for his dedication to the country and to the veterans specifically. Thank you very much, Bill.
Hello, Mr. Bill. It's me, Too Fat, and my husband, Marvin, your friend from Vietnam. Say hi, Marvin. Say hi, Mr. Bill. You say come to America, so we go on boat. Big wave, up and down, big wave, and we go to New York. And we open pho restaurant, Vietnamese noodle for New York people. No one buy. I look at people walk by. Man say, no one buy phony noodles. No, pho New York noodle. So Marvin say, forget about it. We go Key West. We see our friend, Jimmy Buffett. Marvin loved Margaritaville. He drink, he smoke, he sit on beach all day long. He no work, he lazy. So I say, Marvin, no more. We buy car, we go California, we see Mr. Bill. We stop Texas, open donut shop. Too Fat and Marvin's Donut Shop and Fish Fry. Customers say donut tastes fishy. I say, oh, I don't know why. I fry fish, mackerel, bonita. I take out of oil and I put in donut. So what problem? And customer always say, how you all doing? I say, no, I'm not you all. I Too Fat. He say to Marvin and me, hi, how are you all doing? And we say, no, we're Marvin and Too Fat. And Marvin say, we leave, we go California, go to San Fernando Valley, look for Mr. Bill. Pretty nail salon, open, and we do business. We open donut shop, market, massage parlor. Marvin liked massage parlor. Then J-Lock can come, say, come to dinner for Mr. Bill, and bring bok choy, daikon, carrot, fruit. Oh, we so excited see Mr. Bill. And we asked, what roast? What roast, the dinner? And oh no, Mr. Bill, run, they're gonna cook you. You good man. Why they do this to you? You come to our house and we hide you. We have pretty house. Because of you, Mr. Bill. You say, come America, we come. Thank you, Mr. Bill.